welcome back to my channel. My name is Susan and I am a first-time mom to my beautiful daughter Julia. Today we're going to talk about something that can be really hard to navigate as a mom. As a first-time mom, I struggled with this, so I want to share my tips and advice on daycare, the transition into daycare, and everything that helped or worked well for us in this season of life in going, for me, back to work and her starting daycare for the first time. Finding childcare can be incredibly hard, and it is the most important decision ultimately that you're making. You are trusting someone with your baby, which is the hardest thing. So the first tip that I have is not about daycare necessarily. It's about leaving your child with someone who you already know and trust. For us, we were going to a daycare provider that I didn't know, but my husband did know. But for me, it was really hard because I didn't know these people at the time. So our very first time leaving our daughter was with my in-laws, and that was a really good transition of relinquishing control, having her be with someone else, being very close to the house. My husband and I went to dinner, but it was really good. We did like practice. It gave us one-on-one time and quality time, but it also gave me the practice of not being with her and having someone else take care of her. A good substitute for this tip, if you are able to, is to do like a slow transition into daycare, having your child there a couple hours, a half day, and then leading up to a full day, but just kind of a gradual increase of time without you and in their new space. Tip number 2, which has been a real game changer for us, is having a good morning routine. One of my biggest concerns with daycare was I felt like I was never gonna see her awake. My baby started daycare at 6 weeks old, so she's a sleepy girl. She's just still little, and I was concerned that I was never gonna see her awake. So our morning routine is really special because 1, it's the happiest time of day for her, and 2, I get to like bond with her in the morning before she goes off to daycare, and it just starts everyone's, morning on a good note, and it gets getting out the door a lot smoother, because if you have an infant or a little one, you know that getting out the door is not what it used to be pre-children. So I will do a morning routine video in the future, but just a quick synopsis of what our morning routine looks like. She wakes up, I change her, I feed her a bubba, a bottle, and then I get her dressed for the day. We snuggle, sometimes we read a book, and then she's out the door. Like, she's got to go to daycare. We don't have a lot of time in between. And one thing I do love about our daycare is that we brought all of her stuff there the first day: diapers, wipes, clothes, like spare clothes, you name it. They have bibs there, like everything that she could possibly need we brought the first day, so we don't have to even carry a diaper bag in and out. Like in the morning, we are literally just bringing her in her car seat to daycare, so that also makes it a lot easier. We're not rushing around like making sure we forgot or didn't pack everything. So highly recommend a morning routine. Tip number 3 is packing a comfort item. My baby is so young that she doesn't have a stuffed animal yet that she loves, or I would be sending it with her, but they did say that we could send her with a blanket or something like that, and she needs her soft pink blanket to go to sleep. So we purchased a couple of extras. So 1 soft pink blanket went with her to daycare and stays at daycare, and then she has a couple that kick around the house, because you know how blankets go with blowouts and all the things. Like, you need to have spares around so that you're never without. But that is another tip that was really helpful, was for me, just knowing that she had her soft blanket and would be able to fall asleep made me feel a lot better as a mom. And then obviously if your kids are a little older and do have a stuffy or a blanket that they need to fall asleep, then they're gonna also have that comfort, but you also get peace of mind. So that is one that I love, and that was actually our daycare gave us that tip, and I'm so grateful for that. Tip number 4 is communicating with your caregivers. Ours are phenomenal. I am so thankful for our daycare providers. They send me pictures throughout the day of her, which just melt my heart, is my favorite part of my day, and honestly makes me work so much harder because I just want to provide for that little girl. and it just, oh, it's my favorite part of my day. But our daycare also does this really cool thing where they send us home with a report card for her every single day. So we know what time she ate, how many ounces she ate, when she went to the bathroom, how long she slept, what she did. Like there's a little section like if she did tummy time, if she got a book read to her, if they sang. So all of those little things, it's really cool. We get like a snapshot of what her day looked like, and we do get those through like every single day she comes home with one. And I love it because I put it right on the fridge. A lot of times you come home and it's just like the first couple of hours fly by when you get home from daycare, and I think it's just because we're so excited to see her. It had been all day, and sometimes she'll start crying and be like, oh, like when did she eat last? And we can just look at the fridge, because if the last time she ate was at daycare, we look at the fridge, we see exactly what time it was, how much she ate, and then we can kind of gauge what she needs, whether she's tired or hungry or whatever. But just not being the one who took care of her all day, it is so helpful for me as a mom to be able to meet her needs after she leaves daycare. So that all kind of went into communicating with daycare staff. But I think also expressing if there's something you do like, if you don't like, if you're uncomfortable with something, like that is huge. I don't know if the proper term to call them, because they're really teachers. So I'm going to call them teachers too. But her teachers are amazing. They were very open and honest with us. They're like, if there's something you don't like, please tell us. We don't know if you don't tell us. And I think you just need to always be the biggest advocate for your child and continue to have that open line of communication and expect, you know, the same respect from them. Like they're going to communicate with you, you have to communicate with them. And honestly, when I went to go and meet them for the first time, I was so scared, and them communicating with me all of their things, but them also allowing me to express my concerns on why I was feeling so nervous was huge. And they were able to address exactly what I was nervous about, which literally evaporated all of my anxiety over the situation. So communication is key. The very last tip of this video is to take care of yourself. I knew that I could not start work and start daycare on the same day. I had a really good feeling I was going to be an emotional wreck, which I was. I cried the whole drive to daycare, the whole time dropping her off, and the whole drive back home. And I sat in my vehicle and I said, you can cry as long as you want in this vehicle, but once you get out, like, you're gonna have a good day. There's no reason to waste a perfectly good day being sad. She is safe, she is healthy, she is happy, she is taken care of. This is a good thing. We are so fortunate to have the ability to send her to daycare. She's gonna get to meet new kids. Like, it is a good thing, even though it feels so opposite of what should feel good, especially with a little one. If you're sending your baby, or if you've watched your baby for the last couple of years and this is your first time not being with them, like, there's a lot of big emotions with that, and that is totally okay. So if you need a day to just cry, please take that for yourself. For me personally, I wanted to fill my day with things that brought me joy. So I told myself when I got out of the vehicle, I was done crying for the day. So I stayed in the vehicle for another half hour, and then I got out and I went and I put on workout clothes, which was my first workout postpartum because I just got cleared from the doctor. And I did my first workout, which I've always worked out for my mental health anyways. So that was really exciting and really cleared my mind. I played music really loud and I just like danced in between sets, and it was great. And then from there I did other stuff that I loved. I cleaned the house, which isn't necessarily something that I love, but it is something I do when I am feeling anxious or sad. So that was a really good way to keep my mind off of the fact that she wasn't here with me at that moment. And then I did content creation and writing. And then before I knew it, it was time to go pick her up. And like I said, our daycare does send us pictures throughout the day. So that like broke the day up and made me happy. And she had the biggest smile in the pictures they sent me. And that was instant relief. It was like as soon as I got that picture of her smiling, I was like, she is okay, she's happy, and I can take a deep breath and just enjoy myself. And honestly, this day that she went to daycare was the first day that I had had more than probably an hour to my actual self to do kind of whatever I wanted. So I just kind of tried to harness and lean into that energy, and that I don't want to use the word freedom because I don't feel shackled or chained to motherhood whatsoever, but just getting back to the things that I love to do outside of motherhood was really refreshing and a really nice way to kind of get into this new routine and her being gone. I know that I was looking for any advice or help when it was my turn to transition into daycare, so I really hope that these tips help make your transition just a little bit smoother or make you feel like you're not so alone, because mama, I have been there and I feel for you so hard. I know that it literally felt like we were bringing her to like leave her and never come back to pick her up, and that broke my heart into a million pieces. I was questioning my career. I was questioning literally everything. I felt it just feels so foreign and wrong, but it's not. You're providing for your child in any way you can, and I know that at the end of the day, they're gonna have fun. There's little kiddos there. The daycare providers love your kids like they're their own, and that is such a blessing in itself. I cannot stress enough how thankful we are for our providers and the education she's getting. Honestly, like, she's learning so much and she has so much fun. And yeah, so I hope to see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe so that I can continue making videos like these for you, and I'll see you next week.